Please vote. Motion passed.
Item 4, ratify the appointment of interim director of Bossier Parish EMS.
I make a motion we appoint Mr. Sammy Halphen as the new director of EMS until such time as a new director is selected.
A motion by Mr. Halphen, second by Mr. Plummer. Please, any public comment? Mr. Frank?
After looking at Mr. Halphen's qualifications, I think that under the circumstances, he really is the best choice for this. So I want to preface by saying that. How is his salary going to be paid, and is he still going to be paid as Homeland Security Director and draw a salary from EMS?
He gets a salary of $65,000 a year, plus car, plus benefits from EMS. That was what was approved by the previous board. That will continue. The jury pays him like $15,000 a year for his services for us. And that will continue.
What are we going to do for a Homeland Security Director?
He will continue.
Oh, so he's going to have 2 jobs.
Right.
Okay. So does he get paid separately for both of those jobs?
No, actually, it's all tied into one deal. That was what we agreed with the previous board.
Okay. And is that salary that he's currently getting, is that comparable to what Mr. Scott was getting, or?
I'm not sure what the previous director made.
It's close. Very, very close.
Okay.
If not a little less.
Okay. All right. And that's a full-time position, I'm assuming?
For
I'm sorry?
EMS director?
Yeah, for EMS
Yes.
director. Okay. So you'll still, Sammy, you'll still be Homeland Security Director?
Yes.
And
Yes. This is just a duty within my normal duties.
as Homeland Security Director?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me make sure you're clear on this, because obviously
Please.
the board came to us, and let me just kind of recap a little bit. Back in the October-November timeframe, the whole board asked Dukesy if something happened to him, we would take over EMS. And he was told there was nobody at EMS capable of doing that. So that concerned the board. The board went out and started looking for people. They contacted Sammy to see if he would be interested in that position. The jury had nothing to do with it. The jury, the board negotiated with Sammy. They came to us. I had a meeting. I think Mr. Benton, Ms. Bennett was there. They said they felt like Sammy was worth a lot more than they could afford to pay. $65,000 was the max. They asked if the jury would participate. I said the only way the jury could participate would be that if there was a situation, as Sammy has performed in the past, as far as incident commander, the flood of 2009, fire at Vistano, Sammy would be that person for the parish. So that takes it off the table as far as who would direct any type of situation that would come up. In addition, we have some issues we feel at the jail concerning medical and pharmaceutical services. Sammy has expertise in those areas, so that he would perform those functions for us. In addition, I asked Sammy to assist the fire districts in the parish. We have some that are excellently run, some that could use some improvement. And it's no reflection on them, it's just a lot of them are volunteers and they need all the help they can get. Sammy happens to sit on various boards in Baton Rouge where money funnels through. And so those boards, hopefully, as part of our $15,000 flat salary that we're giving him, he's to do those functions for us, because we had to get him to do something in order to assist EMS to get the salary they thought that he was sufficient, that he needed to be paid.
Okay, so he's paid directly by the police jury?
Right.
He gets a check from the police.
Yeah, but we bill EMS and they reimburse the jury for his salary for his portion of EMS. There was a great amount of confusion for some reason with EMS accounting as to how to handle it, so we just took care of it here.
I understand. Sammy, when did you come? You came on like at the beginning of the year? Okay, okay. And what was your title then? That's something I was confused about.
Director of Homeland Security for Bossier Parish Police Jury.
When you came on to EMS?
Yes.
So you were still Director of Homeland Security?
Part of my duty was helping EMS as well.
Okay. you were not a consultant, or that was not your title, or?
Well, I guess, I mean, figuratively, you could say that I was helping them, so I guess you could say I was consulting with them, but I wasn't under contract with them or anything like that.
Okay. I was just curious. So the police, the EMS funds are allowed to pay Homeland Security?
You're paying him for those functions. EMS is paying him for the EMS. They felt like Sammy made $100,000 for the city of Bossier City. They felt like he should be in the $80,000 range, but they felt like they couldn't offer him more than $65,000 because it would upset the situation at EMS with other salaries, and I totally understand that. So they came to us, the board, and asked if we would help get him the amount of money that they felt he was worth. And the jury said he would, but he had to do some things for us. So that's the way it is.
Okay, I just want to make sure that the EMS funds that were part of that quarter-cent sales tax referendum a number of years ago were specifically just for ambulance service, were not being used for
That's correct.
Homeland Security. So that's correct. None of those funds generated by that quarter-cent sales tax were used for homes. Okay, but that clears up some rumors that I'd heard. So I really appreciate you. Thanks.
Anyone else?